But first of all, folks, before we get into the information, I just want to say thank you for watching my channel. And as a result, and as a way for me to show my appreciation, I just want to say, here's a free $60 Amazon gift card. Use the code right here on your screen and enter it on the checkout aisle on Amazon.com. Remember guys, it's a free Amazon gift card, and if you would like it, just redeem the code. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more videos because I'll also be releasing a ton of more gift cards. Now, get ready for some big changes. There is a new administration. It's the Biden administration. He's planning to change the IRS, and this changes can actually cause millions of Americans to save more money every year. And the Biden administration is rolling out a free government-managed tax filing system. The IRS just released a report laying out potential options for a system that allows taxpayers to file directly with the IRS, free of charge without using a third-party service. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has ordered the IRS to move forward with a pilot direct file system to test the program out. Even the IRS commissioner has told reporters today, taxpayers will always have the choice for how they file their taxes. People should be using the tax filing system that works best for them, for the personal and the financial situation. And under this scenario, the IRS cannot run a tax system alone. So, here is a huge increase that's what Joe Biden's talking about. And the burden of the cost can actually fall heavily on the lower income. Although there are free softwares for families in need, they are often overwhelmingly and not standardized, which can lead to millions of households missing out on this relief money. It is relief money, that's what Joe Biden's doing. Because supporters of the program say that dozens of other countries, everybody, have provided free tax filing options to their citizens, and American taxpayers who want to file their taxes for free online should have they had the accessible option. Now, the Inflation Reduction Act, which was passed and signed into law, was mandated that the IRS hire an independent third party to analyze the overall feasibility approach, cost, and the IRS capacity to deliver. But the IRS announced in February that it will contract a new Democratic leader. Now, Joe Biden has pushed back the new work requirements for these welfare programs, and these welfare programs could be helping out so many people that are on Social Security, SSDI, and SSI. But today, the president has insisted that any changes would be insignificant. Going back on what he promised us, he expanded the work requirements for recipients of the SNAP program and a temporary assistance for the Needy Families program. And Medicaid have emerged as a key sticking point in debt ceiling talks between the White House and Kevin McCarthy. The Congressional Budget Office estimated the higher threshold would mean a loss of SNAP benefits for 275,000 Americans, saving over $1 billion. Now, this bill is not only helping out the top elite, but it's not even doing anything for the American people, the true American people, the middle class, and the low income. But the bill would also make it harder for states to exempt its residents from work and job training requirements to receive the SNAP benefits. Republicans have also proposed less flexibility for states to administer the temporary assistance for Needy Families program. And during a press conference today, Joe Biden said, "I'm not going to accept any work requirements that's going to impact the medical health of people." He added that he would not accept any expanded work requirements that go much beyond that, the rules that he supported as a U.S. Senator in the 90s. Biden's careful posturing follows a backlash from the Democrats who raised an alarm about the possibility of caving to Republicans' push to expand the work requirement for welfare programs that service the low income. But ultimately, everybody, Joe Biden is going back on what he promised us. And we all know that it's still not enough when he sends out the fourth stimulus check.
And what farmers are talking to me about is they're talking about the incredible costs of their inputs this year. And that's what they're talking about. They're not coming to me about climate change. They're coming to me about the cost it is for them to do business and the inflation they're facing. Last year, my Democratic colleagues slingshotted us into a record inflation with trillions in reckless spending. And now they have the audacity to use that very crisis to justify doing it again. They call this bill the Inflation Reduction Act. In reality, this is just another installation of their tax and spend agenda that got us here in the first place. This time, they are spending $80 billion in funding to send 87,000 new IRS agents to shake loose change from Americans to pay for their spending spree. With this new staff, the IRS will be bigger than the Pentagon, State Department, FBI, and Border Patrol. This new IRS army will increase audits on individuals by more than 1.2 million, nearly half of which will be on Americans making $75,000 per year or less. You don't have to take my word for it. This is according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. And what do Americans get in return? $3 billion in grants to promote climate justice, $7.5 billion for wealthy families.
Practically in history, and again, a tribute to him, to our policies, and a tribute to the private sector, which created many of these jobs, working together with public and private. And with that, we continue our progress. We're laser focused on the economy for the people, creating jobs, growing the economy. As I said, 6.6 million new jobs were created last year. 6.6 million new jobs last year. A stark contrast.
There is a huge update from the lawmakers. The top Senate Democrats have unveiled everybody a new tax bill that will help so many people with stimulus. Yes, folks, a ton of more people in the United States will be getting a fourth stimulus check sooner than you could believe it. Now, here's the most important information that I have for you folks. Today, the Senate Democrats introduced a resolution condemning a proposal that the House Republicans issued last month to raise the sales tax to 30% and repeal other taxes like the income, payroll, and estate taxes. Not only that, but it would also declare that the Senate opposes paying for the tax cuts of Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and the benefit cuts for service members, veterans, or the law enforcement. The Republicans and representatives introduced a bill, which was co-sponsored by 25 Republicans, to significantly raise sales tax to account for almost all of the federal government's revenue in exchange for the taxes being withdrawn. Now, this proposal would allow the workers to keep their checks, without the government taking out any money. But the thing is, they would need to pay significantly more when buying products, including groceries. In an official statement, a senator said, "A national sales tax is an awful idea. It's going to hurt so many people, but one thing to look out for is a fourth stimulus." Now, it does make sense because different versions of this tax proposal have been introduced in Congress, and the proposal of this term is that Republicans have pushed to repeal funding, which was given to the Internal Revenue Service, which is the IRS, to hire 87,000 employees over the next decade from the Inflation Reduction Act money. Now, this IRS funding and the new hires were intended to increase tax enforcement or for the high individuals that are earning a lot of money. Now, this Fair Tax Act would also significantly limit the role that the IRS plays in collecting taxes. So, if you collect a lot of taxes, that's what the IRS does. Because I also want to say that this is from finance experts, and that the long-awaited South Carolina 2022 individual tax return, well, it's a tax rebate. It's an income tax rebate, and has already begun to be issued to eligible taxpayers. The South Carolina Department of Revenue says that if you filed your taxes with individuals, then you should receive your rebate soon.